Buy me jeans on. I got money on me, I got cash on me too. Money rush, I got money crash. Shawty can't fuck me up cause I'm in love with drugs. Shawty can't fuck me up cause I'm in love with drugs. Shawty can't fuck me up cause I'm in love with drugs.
So we hit the deer, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. The cars are already under a total loss title, and so I don't know. There's no point in selling it. It's worth like $700. I could probably get more for just the K24 that's inside of it, but probably not gonna sell it. So I'm just gonna start taking it apart, seeing all the damage. Obviously, that's up. My headlight is up. I think my fenders, I don't know if my hood got messed up at all. If it did, it would have got hit right there. But I'm just gonna start taking it all apart and see what all is done and see what all I can do to fix it. All right, so I got this all taken apart and I'm looking at everything. I haven't looked at the hood yet. I don't think it's messed up. I feel like I would be able to see it from here. There's like the tiniest little bend right there, but it's nothing insane compared to everything else. But one of the main things that I just did real quick is I got my fender liner. I didn't want to take it out, but I just like self-tapped it in right there because it was hanging down really bad since like a lot of the brackets that was holding it had messed up. And so it was rubbing my tire a lot more than it already does. And so I don't want my tire to get so to the headlight, I didn't know this until just now, but whenever I was driving it this entire time for the last 2 days going back and forth between work, it was just being held on by the wiring and the hanging bumper, because once I took the bumper off, this literally just fell out. There's a tiny fracture on the lens right there. You can see it. It's nothing crazy from a little distance away, but that'll get with me. And then the entire back part of the headlight is like, all of this is cracked, folds in. Luckily, it wasn't a part of the housing that got cracked. It's just like the backing part, because you can see on the inside that chrome piece is the actual housing. So bumper's pretty that was the main thing. I don't think the frame got messed up at all. I can show that in a second, but this is where I fixed it like a year ago. The previous owner had hit it, and so I did like a little bit of body work. I did like professionally back here and then put some Bondo on the front to smooth it out, and that turned out good. But obviously whenever I hit it, it all just cracked off. And then you can see the main crack right here that literally just folds the bumper in half. There's a big chunk missing, big crack there. I mean, that goes all the way down to the front grille, literally goes all the way underneath. All of the brackets on this is now broken. It hit right here on the car, that's where it got hit, and then my fender got pretty fucked. You can see that right there. That's not supposed to be bent like that. All right, so it is the next couple days after since that last clip, but I just kind of stopped recording and I was just working on it for a little while. But what I've done so far, I went ahead and I banged out the big dent that was right here, and then so that the headlight could actually fit in there, and all the brackets on the headlight were screwed. And so just in multiple places, I just self-tapped the headlight literally just like into my frame. And then I did the same, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I did the same up there, and then just a few zip ties holding in. But this thing, it's not going anywhere. It's on there pretty good. And now what I'm doing, since I'm kind of in the long waiting process where everything takes a long time before I can move on to anything, I'm just painting this while I'm doing body work on the bumper. So how I'm doing this, y'all remember all the damage that screwed, and then a couple more places right there. But what I'm doing right now is just doing supports on the back side before I actually start doing visible body work. Shout out to the fog lights. So what we have here is just a bunch of fiberglass tape, or fiberglass whatever, I don't know. It's just fiberglass material. You can pick that up anywhere. So you just cut little pieces. You can see I went all the way up here, and it reaches all the way down inside of there for a little while, just because that's how big the crack was. And the same thing here, you can see the crack through there. But I ran out of the plastic weld that I was using, and I got something else. That's why there's two different colors. But right here, there is plastic weld. It's just clear, and so you can still see it crack. And then I ran out, and so I moved to a different one since they ran out of the same stuff. So, but this stuff is really hard. I don't think it's gonna move. I think this brown stuff is harder than the clear, but I don't know, it feels harder. It should be the same though. And then the fiberglass will just give it a lot of strength so that it won't move as much. And again, obviously none of this is professional, but it'll do. I had a big crack here too. And now this is the repair that, more glue, this is annoying. That's the repair that I did a long time ago. And whenever a deer hits that, it's not gonna hold up. But I'm not gonna go as intense now with this just because I really don't want to. And it's December and I'm cold. I did do some plastic weld on this side just because of how thick the crack was. Unlike over here, you can see the crack isn't as thick, but over here it's huge. So I'll need to sand that down and then just sand down this whole area. And then once I finish all the body work with like Bondo and stuff, I'm just gonna have to paint all of that with rattle cans. And this is actually what I was gonna do the first time that I repaired it, but I ended up just going to the shop and paying for them to paint the bumper. I just don't feel like doing that right now. This is the filler primer that works really well. So if there's any like tiny imperfections in your sanding, even though you're gonna be sanding with like 5,000 grit, if there's any imperfection, the filler primer will help with that. That's just Rust-Oleum. And then Duplicolor color match for my specific color code. If you have the same Honda as mine, that's my color code, the NH Honda. And then clear, I know 2K clear makes a really good clear coat that doesn't really orange peel too much, and it's just like a really good quality, but this is all I have right now, and this is just a hassle. I don't feel like going into too much labor for this, even though this is a lot for this bull crap. But yeah, got my sweet tea chilling on the engine. I went ahead and painted this and clear coated it, so I'm just waiting for the clear coat to finish, and then I'll wet sand that and show you guys that process. All right, next day, what I finished up yesterday was just all the body work, mainly most of the body work. I still have to do a little bit, but what you see here, this brown Bondo right here that I have is just Bondo glass, which is just reinforced fiberglass Bondo, so it's a little bit stronger than your normal stuff. And so I put that on the big crack right there, and then the big crack right there, and that was where there was a little chunk missing, and so it's loaded on right there. I did a little bit here, and then I had a bunch left over, and because it's fiberglass reinforced, I just went ahead and layered it on this stuff, which was mainly just like this fiberglass tape that I had, just covering all that up. So I just layered it on there for some more strength. And then this red stuff that you see, what that is, that's this right here. That's just glazing and spot putty. That's where the crack was barely even noticeable. Like right here, you can see my fingertip barely even goes in there. And so that's what a lot of it was, especially like that right there. That was just like a bend. It cracked the paint mainly. So I just put that so that it would be smooth. And then you can see where all I put the tiny little crack right there, so I put some there. And right here, the paint just chipped. There was a big chunk of paint missing, and so I put some right there so it'd be smooth. So now all I need to do, I kind of was messy with it because it was getting late, so it got on the tape. So what I might do is just like take all this tape off so that I don't sand the tape into the paint. But yeah, so now what I need to do is just sand all this down and then use some more of that glazing spot putty, and then just do that until it's smooth. All right, so I got all the body work done and we're ready for paint. Everything is sanded. What I had was 100, 220, and then 800 grit sandpaper. And so what I did was I used 100 for that brown / like gray Bondo, because that stuff is pretty hard just to get the majority of that down. And then I went ahead and went around with the 220 around all of the glaze and spot putty, and then on the rest of that fiberglass Bondo, just to get it all smoothed down. And then I went around and did some more spot putty, went around with that 220 again, cleaned it, and then I went with 800 and I just sanded all of this because I have that right there, that, and that. And so I went 800 with all of this, just scuffed everything, made it all smooth, and just scuffed it all so that the primer will stick. And then I went ahead and taped off and masked off everything. This entire half side of the bumper was just newly painted. Well, the whole thing was, but that's all new paint, and so I don't need to paint any of that. I don't want that to get messed up at all. And so I taped all of this off and all of this off. And so what I did right here is I taped on the body lines. Usually you aren't supposed to have straight tape lines because it'll show up and it won't be nice. But like right here, there's a big thick body line where it just curves into the bumper. And so I just taped that off. And then on the rest of it, what I did is, you can see I have the tape line right here. That's just my boundary, but it actually goes like 2 or 3 inches before it actually hits where I scuffed it up and where I need to paint. And so I got this little trick from Chris Fix, of course, but you take some paper, you flip it around, and then what you do is whenever you paint this way, you're hitting this, but a tiny bit of the paint will be able to go in and it'll feather itself so that you have no harsh tape lines. And so I did that all the way around. And so right here, you can see my tape line down there. It's not completely covered, but you don't want to be spraying right here. You want to be kind of even with it. So you spray this way, so it goes in that and it feathers down just a tiny bit. Because if I were to spray straight down like this right here, that paint would go in and it would create a harsh tape line. So just do this little paper trick. And then if you have thick body lines like this, you can just tape that off and you don't have to do that trick on it. And so I already did that. And so I'm just gonna give it one more wipe down, turn on all the lights in here and get painting. All right, so I got it all cleaned and I got some lighting set up in here so I can see what I'm doing. And once again, I'm just using some Rust-Oleum filler primer. So there are like tiny, tiny scratches from the sandpaper that this primer will be able to fill in. But I'm ready to start painting. We're gonna do 3 coats of primer. And then if you don't already know, you can just follow the directions on your paint can, or what you want to do is do your first coat pretty light and then your last 2 coats a little bit thicker as you go on, and your last coat will be the thickest. And then once you're done priming, you want to go ahead and sand that down with a high grit sandpaper, and then you'll be able to for your color paint and then clear coat. All right, so I finished priming up. I got 3 coats on there. And then I went ahead and sanded it down with 800 grit sandpaper. And now it's down to a smooth finish. And you can, right here what that is that's just the Bondo, where I put Bondo compared to the white paint. So it's nothing crazy, but it's all sanded down and ready for paint. It's all taped up. I got lighting, so I'm just using, I showed y'all earlier, but I'm just using some Duplicolor paint match. So this is the same color as the rest of the car, or at least it should be, unless the last shop that painted screwed it all up. But yeah, the garage is closed, no wind, so let's get painting. All right, so I kind of stopped recording, but it's wet sanding day. What I did, I think I showed you the process for painting. It is done painting now. So now all I need to do is wet sand it. You want to wait a little bit before you wet sand it. Usually clear coat will say like give it like 24 hours to a day before you wet sand it, but I gave it 2 days. And now what we're gonna be using, right, what I'm doing right now, oh, I didn't know that would happen. We're just letting the sandpaper soak along with the sponge I'm gonna use in some water, because we are wet sanding and it's better if they're wet. So we're using 1500, 2000, 3000, and 5000 grit, and we're gonna just go up in grit as we go along. I think this is both 2000 and 1500 together. Yeah, so we're just letting that sit for a little bit, and I already cleaned this surface down. This I can literally scratch off with my finger. That's just like overspray from the primer. And then so just clean it down with some alcohol and water mixture. And then once you start sanding, you just want to either use a water hose. I'm just literally using a little spray bottle, and just keep it wet, keep your sandpaper and your sponge wet, and then just start with 1500, go to 2000, then 3, then 5. And what you want to do is you want to sand mostly in the part that you just painted, but you want to go into this area, and then once you hit 3000 grit sandpaper, you really want to sand like all of this, because it won't damage your good clear coat too bad. So it'll just make it hazy, and then at the end you'll want to polish and compound all of that. So once you do your 1500 and 2000 at 3000 and then 5000, you want to go ahead and hit everything around it. And then this is where I had my tape line right in the midline. So I'm gonna just not sand any of this because I don't need to, but I will go all the way until here with the 5000 grit, just because I painted all the way up until there. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and do that and show you guys the process. Well, I ended up not recording anything after I wet sanded and polished it, but it actually turned out really good. Here's some pictures of the bumper that shows, you can't really tell that I did all that body work, plus just some pictures that I really like that I took of it. And here's my car after I fixed it, because I got in a little accident, which sucks. And then here's my new 370Z that I just bought. It's pretty clean and a lot better than the Honda, but I'll be posting the 370 a lot more on here now. And I'll be posting those videos pretty soon, so stay tuned. But thank you for watching. I hope that tutorial helped you to do your own body work and paint your own car. Subscribe, like.